Hey, Phantomaniacs! Welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are looking at Leonardo as the creature from the Black Lagoon. This is an instance of where fan expectations are dumb and mean nothing and should not affect your enjoyment of like, don't let your own expectations, what you've come up with, what you want, get in the way of enjoying a good product. Because in my head, I don't know why, I never had the original Universal Monsters Ninja Turtles crossovers. So I have to look up who's what. In my head, for some reason, Donatello was the creature, and the only reason that was the case is because the creature is my favorite monster, Donatello is my favorite Ninja Turtle, and in my own brain, I had made up that that's what this was going to be. And then when it was announced, I was like, Leonardo? Yeah, because Leonardo is probably my least favorite of the Turtles. But it doesn't matter at all, and like, beyond it not mattering, because it's just an awesome figure that I want to have, it's also how the original figure was. So anyway, beautiful packaging. Currently waiting on, I believe that's Raphael as the Wolfman, which we are doubling up on some of these, which is a little strange, but that's okay. Beautiful, gorgeous packaging. On the back, again, NECA has gone all out to make this look like an old promotional movie poster, lobby card type of thing. Utterly fantastic. Got the panel that opens up, revealing Leonardo as the creature. And then, of course, all the credits on the bottom of the box. Let's go ahead and open this up and get it out. I have delayed. I actually got this before the end of 2023, and I just have not had time to sit down with it and do a review. And I will be counting this. I don't know. I'm going to have to remember to not count this as a 2024 release on my top 10 at the end of the year. But I think it didn't show up a lot of places until 2024. So I don't know. Tell me in the comments, what do you think, and do you care? Nice background here. Probably, I don't have it anymore, but probably the same thing as that was in the creature from the Black Lagoon, maybe a different color or whatever. But maybe not. Maybe they did something completely new and different, because sometimes that is just how NECA rolls. If you remember or have watched any of my other Ninja Turtles Universal Monster crossover reviews, I did not plan to collect these. Not because I didn't like them. Universal Monsters and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are two of my favorite things in the world. But my gosh, you just can't collect everything. And then one time I was in Target looking for something specific. They didn't have what I was looking for, but they did have... Ooh, nice. They did have... I think it was Leonardo as the Hunchback. I think that was the one that I was like, oh boy, I guess I'm buying these now. Oh, by the way, I love that all of these accessories are just in here with friction. They're all just snapped into place. No tape, no nothing. Although Leonardo does have... Ooh, but it's a little stretchier plastic tab than some of the manufacturers use. And only one of them. So answer me this. How is it that this big, heavy figure, certainly one of the heaviest figures I bought so far this year, only requires that one piece of plastic, while some other lighter, smaller figures have like 8 of those tabs? Anyway, doesn't matter. What I was saying is, I believe Leonardo as the Hunchback was the one that I found that I was like, oh, I'm going to get this because they don't have anything else for me to buy today. And that was it. I ended up as a collector of this line, which is one of the greatest lines of action figures of all time. Oh man, I love the way they executed this, just in every way. You know what? I gotta go get my creature to do a comparison here because it looks so... The paint job looks the same. It's just perfect. All right. So for those who... And it's completely different. For those who watched my review of the creature, yes, I do have him on the shelf in his opera singing pose. I just find it too amusing. So you'll notice on the creature, the Gillman, there's almost a little more of a gold metallic sheen to the painted detail, and here they've kept it a little more grounded and more flat, I guess is what I was going to say. So these are entirely different paint jobs. They're applied in the same way, but color-wise, they're very different. So, look at the way they did. They did this motion of his mask, and oh man, I just absolutely love this. It looks watery, I guess. The sculpt flows with the detail on his face. It just looks fantastic. I love the netting replacing his belt. Very nice. I'm trying to see if it's attached or if it could be removed. It seems like if you wanted to, you could remove that netting. I'm not going to because I really like the look of it, and especially look at all the details in it. Well, first of all, the sculpt of the net itself, which the two straps, just like Leonardo's belt. But all of this, I guess it's time to zoom in already. Whoa, too much. The hooks, all the things caught in the net. Just incredible detail. Those hooks seem a little dangerous, though. Look at how his shell is sculpted, and that's a softer plastic. His shell is sculpted to look like the creature's torso. You know, it's different from a standard turtle shell sculpt. And then even his back. Just under the net, look at all this detail. Unbelievable. And I love the skeletal hand, the very old school Ninja Turtles like Playmates sculpting right here. This is an entire skeleton arm just sculpted onto the shell. And the little trilobites, right? Fantastic. Articulation wise, pretty much everything we've come to expect from NECA at this scale and this ultimate style. You can see right here, you've got the hinged wrist. And look at this. Right number of fingers. Other companies would have just reused creature hands for this, but not NECA. That is absolutely not how they do things. His elbow pads and wrist tape are different. They've got like that sort of fishnetty pattern on them. And he's got, oh, and look, these, interesting, these kind of move. The elbow pads appear to be attached to that middle joint, but the knee pads move around freely. Double jointed knees for those deep creature knee bends. Now, I wonder if you can get a swimming pose out of him. You can probably sort of fake one, but I don't imagine you're going to get, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, you can kind of fake it out. The head is just not going to go up that far because you've got on the back here, the fins. I'm concerned about, now is this, all right, this is why we're here, right? Does this come out? Can you turn this around? Oh, look, that comes out. And the way that this is sculpted, you can get a little deeper than I thought and get, and this should, you can just peg this back in however you want. You can get sort of a swimming pose out of this. And look, if you put a little more effort into it, you might be able to get a little more out of the articulation than what I'm getting right now. I don't intend to have him swimming in any way. I'm probably going to leave that, but that is removable, so you can mess around with the head and get a little more movement out of it. But just all of the painted, sculpted details, incredible. Oh, look at the way his wristbands or wrist tape or whatever kind of hangs. Everything about this figure is sculpted in a very fluid way. It's all reminiscent of like aquatic looks. Same thing, two toes with giant talons. Let's compare those to the actual Gillman feet. Look at that. So, fantastic. In my opinion, and I've got a bias here, obviously, but this is the best of the Universal Monsters Turtles thus far. This is incredible. Every centimeter of this figure is mind-blowing. So let's take a look at the accessories now. We've got a little turtle friend. Looks great. Just a slug, but that's okay. I don't need it to be more than that. It's something to stand beside him. I love it. And I love this kind of happy little turtle friend. Just to bring some levity to the tragedy of the Universal Monsters Turtles. A number of different hands. You've got sea grips, of course. And then you've got sort of reaching, grasping, menacing hands. I will probably be using the sea grips. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and pop those on here. Let's see. I always like to, if I can, if it doesn't seem too scary, I always like to show you guys how difficult it is to swap the hands in and out. And if I'm going to get a breakage, then, let's do it here so you can see, oh, I need to be extra super careful with this one. Or, okay, they seem pretty sturdy. Maybe I don't need to worry about heating them up. Nice. NECA has seemingly learned the correct mix of plastic durability and thickness to get their interchangeable parts to be much sturdier than they used to be. There we go. This is a great little detail. Look at the paint on the claws there. So reminiscent. Leo just fell over because I didn't give his ankles enough attention. There we go. Reminiscent of that iconic skeletal arm. So you're probably going to have to pop the hand off to put this on. So I should have done that a second ago. Well, I'm not displaying it with this, but that will sit right over the arm. As cool as that looks, it's just not going to be part of my display. So that'll fit on right there. And the sculpt, of course, fantastic. Great looking bone sculpt. Leonardo has to have his swords. He has one sword designed to be like harpoons. One with an impaled fish on it. Again, sort of the classic Playmate style. That goofy... Well, I believe this is a piranha, actually. So, maybe he attacks somebody with this, and the piranha will attack them, because who knows the state of being of this piranha. But just great harpoon look. I love the rope hanging off the handle here. And then one fish-free, different sculpt. So he has his pair of swords. Let's see how well those slide home. Hopefully very nicely. Oh, sorry. That's just going to happen sometimes when I'm zoomed in, when I'm focused on trying to get the thing done. Somebody yelled at me in the comments the other day for doing something off screen. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was for when I reviewed the Megatron Hiss tank. Apparently I put Baroness's backpack on off screen, which, you know, I'm not saying I gave any thought to. I probably didn't realize that's what I was doing. But at the same time, like, why do you need to see a G.I. Joe backpack put on? How complicated is that process? But I'm sure they had a good reason for wanting to see it, but whatever the case. So those fit great. And then let's figure out what this little piece... Oh my gosh. What is happening here? This seems like it might be the kind of thing that goes in a drawer because it's so tiny. It scares me to keep it out in the world. Good gosh. So this is... a loop. It is plastic. It's a sculpted loop with a bunch of fish hooks that are plastic and bobbers. And I'm going to have to go grab the box because I'm not entirely sure where that's supposed to go. I just gave it a quick look here. Let's zoom back out. So it looks like it goes maybe across. It looks like it's right here. No, that's part of his netting. And I don't see it here. So, not entirely sure. I mean, I guess you can just sort of hang this across him. Maybe this is an alternative to the netting. Maybe you can just put this across his chest with these parts. I don't know. But all of these are going to hook onto this line. Hopefully. There we go. So yeah, maybe if you just want a lighter, more subtle look, you put this across his torso rather than the netting. But I mean, the netting is where it's at as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to put that stuff in a different little Ziploc baggie. And as I said, keep it in a drawer. So there he is, Leonardo and his little turtle friend as the creature from the Black Lagoon. Absolutely fantastic figure. Another work of art from NECA, and gorgeous. I mean, it's another one of those things where even if you're not necessarily, maybe you're not a giant turtle fan, maybe you're not a giant Universal Monsters fan, but if you are a fan of toys as art, this is a toy as art. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things, and until next time, I love being a Gillman.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.